So, good evening, everyone. Once again, I welcome you all to today's Career Compass webinar for CS Journey, powered by Scanner and presented by Suchita Prakashan Private Limited. I hope you all are doing well. So, without wasting even a single second, let's start the journey. Let's know about the CS career options, how to excel in examination, and many more. And even if you have any query, please do write it while I'm presenting. And after that, I will try to answer the questions. And if I'm not able to, I will definitely note it down and get back to you after taking the expert advice. Thank you. So let's start today's webinar. So before we start, let's understand what we are going to understand today, what we are going to study or discuss today about the CS journey. So first we'll understand what company secretary is, its eligibility and enrollment process, registration and examination cycles, route to becoming a CS, the various scopes of after completing or becoming the member of CS Institute, and now the role and importance of scanners in this journey. So, Company Secretary is the course offered by the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and it's an statutory body set up by an act of parliament. It functions under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. We all know this course has 3 levels. The first one is CSEET. Before it used to be CS Foundation, but now it has become the CSEET. Company Secretary Entrance Examination Test. And now the second level is CS Executive, which has 2 groups. It means it has the papers are divided into 2 groups. You can attempt, if you are appearing in the examination, you can appear in one group or both the groups at the same time. Now coming to the CS Professional, after you clear the CS Executive, you appear or you enroll yourself for the CS Professional, which is also the final level of becoming the CS. Once you complete your trainings and you pass the examination, written examination of CS Professional, you are eligible to apply for the membership or you become the CS Company Secretary. Now, let's know or let's understand what is the eligibility and enrollment process. So CSEET, which is also known as the Company Secretary Executive Entrance Test route, any student can register himself or herself after class 10, appearing in the examination. They can register, but they can appear in the examination after passing class 12. And it is now on it the foundation examination, they generally are conducted on online mode, and the passing criteria is 40% in each paper and 50% aggregate. There is no negative marks, and the fee to take for the enrollment is 2,000 only. Now there is another route. Suppose if somebody has passed the graduation or post graduation, they can also take admission, direct admission at the intermediate level, or we can say the executive level, which is the second level or the middle level of becoming the CS company secretary. All right. And but for that, whoever is coming, whoever is graduate or postgraduate, they have to have 50% marks, and fee for them to this level is 21,500. Now coming to the for aspirants or for students who have passed CA and CMA final, they can also apply and take the admission directly, skipping the CSET level into the CS executive. And the fee for them will be 21,500. Now coming to the CS Foundation. So CS Foundation used to be the previous course. If somebody has, so this is a direct route, like if somebody has already passed CSET or they have passed CS Foundation previously, now they can enroll themselves in the second level or the middle level of the company secretary, which is CS Executive, and fee for them will be 16,500, which is lesser than the graduates or postgraduates, or we can say the CA and CMA students. The good news about this course is that this is well recognized by the UGC and it is considered equivalent to any postgraduate degree. It means you are eligible to apply or pursue the DPhil if you want to. Now coming to the registration cycle. So now for foundation examinations, there are 4 cycles for the registration and the examination, and which keep on happening after every 3 months. So the first registration starts. The cutoff date is from 16 December to 15th April, and then 16 April to 15th June, and 16th June to 15th October, and then 16th October to 15th December. And the examinations, consequently, the examinations also take place for the first registration cycle, the examination which ends on 15th April of the year. The examination for this cycle takes place in the second or the third week of May. Similarly, for the second cycle, the examination takes place in the second and third week of July. And for third, it takes between the second and third week of the November. And then the fourth and the last cycle of the examination in 1 year takes place in the second and third week of the January of the next or the upcoming year. Now coming to the CS executive. So there are generally 2 cycles and there are no 4 cycles. So but there are options. If somebody wants to appear in one group only, then they have to complete their study months of 4, and they can enroll for either for January or the July session. And their exams will be happening or taking place in June of that month, of that year, or the December of that year. Similarly, if somebody is appearing for both the groups, then they have to register themselves by 31st May of that year, and the examination will take place in the December of that year. Similarly, if somebody is appearing for the second cycle of the examination and the registration, if somebody is appearing in both the groups, then they have to register. They have to complete their registration till 30th November of that year, and the examination will be taking place in the June of the next or the upcoming year. Similarly, the same cycle was followed by the CS professional also. Now, coming to the so this is about the new syllabus and the old syllabus. I hope if somebody is here who is already pursuing it, they would be knowing and they would be aware of it. Now coming to the very quick roadmap of becoming CS. So first foundation, we all understand somebody who is who has passed class 10th, they can register, but they can appear the examination only after passing the class 12th. And once they they pass the foundation, they are eligible to get registered for the CS executive program. And now, as per the requirement, if they are appearing for the one group, they have to complete 4 months registration duration and then the 6 months if appearing for the both. Now, passing the examination of CS executive, the students, they are eligible to get registered in themselves in the CS professional course, or the last level of the CS. Now, again, the examination, if they are appearing for the one group, they have to complete the 4 months of study. And if they are appearing for both the groups, they have to complete the study duration of 4 months. And along with passing the CS executive, they need to complete the EDP plus practical training for 21 months. EDP is Executive Development Program, which is 15-day classroom and 15 days online program. And after passing the CS professional, they have to complete the CLDP, which is Corporate Leadership Development Program. And once these curriculum are completed by the students, they can apply, they become, and passing the CS professional course, CS professional level, they can apply for the CS ICS membership. And once your membership is approved by the organization, here you become the company secretary. Now, if we now the question comes, what are the different scopes of after becoming a company secretary? So, anyone who has done or completed the CS, they can become the advisor to the board of directors, key managerial personnel. They can apply for the compliance officer, corporate planner, and the strategic manager. They can provide certification services, internal auditor. They can become secretarial auditor, corporate risk manager, chief governance officer, GST profession. So n number of scope is there, and excluding all these things, these CS, after becoming the CS, anybody can apply and go to the academics also, which is nowadays having a very good scope and very good career. And along with that, if anybody wants, they can have their own startups as well. So now coming to the CS, let's understand about the CSET. So before I go further, I would like to Yana. You are there. Hi, good evening, Yana. Am I audible? Okay, no worries.
Hello. Good
CS,
evening, ma'am.
good evening. So, Yana, would you like to share something about yourself before we go further? Because we wanted to have some discussion kind of session.
यस मैम, बट अभी फिलहाल में ना मेरी ओडीओपी हुई थी, तो ये सब चीजें मुझे वहां पर बताई जा चुकी हैं,
Okay.
तो इसलिए फिलहाल मेरी कोई क्वेरी नहीं है।
Acha, so you have this idea. So you are in
हाँ,
the foundation level right now. You are pursuing
नो,
the foundation.
एग्जीक्यूटिव।
Executive, you have enrolled for. Okay. So have you ever, if you have already read, then there is, I think, no point. But let's understand it once more.
जी,
All right. So
श्योर।
CSET, if you talk about, so there are four papers. Just I have already covered in the previous slides. So these four papers are business communication, which consists of 50 marks, then legal aptitude, logical reasoning, and quantitative aptitude of 70 marks, then economic and business environment for 50 marks, and current affairs and quantitative attitude for 30 marks. It means total weightage of CSET is 200 marks. Now coming to the CS executive. In previous slides, again, we have discussed the two different routes, like one after passing the CSET, and after direct entries could be happening with any of the graduate or postgraduates or someone who has passed CA or CMAs. So everything I have discussed, let's discuss about the papers. If we talk about the group one of the CS executives, so there are four papers. The each has the weightage of 100 marks. And now let please focus on the weightage of the portions if the paper is divided or categorized into two. If we talk about the paper one, which is jurisprudence, interpretation, and general laws, which has 100 marks weightage. Now coming to the paper two, which is company law and practice, which is divided into two parts. The first one is company law. It has the weightage of 60 marks, and company administration and meeting, which is the second part and has only 40 weightage of 40 marks. Now, when you are planning for your studies, you need to focus on these areas, these classifications, or these categorizations, so that you can focus on those areas more, which are having more weightage, right? Now, coming to the third paper, similarly, as was in the second paper, it also has two parts. The first one is about setting up of business, and second one is about the industrial and labor law. Again, the weightage are different. So again, if you are trying to score good marks, please focus on the portions where you can score good and more marks. Similarly, we are having the fourth paper, which is corporate accounting and financial management. Again, it has two parts, and corporate accounting has 60 weightage of 60 marks, and part two, financial management, is having the weightage of only 40 marks. Now coming to the CS executive group two, we have paper 5, 6, and 7. Now, the papers 5 is titled as Capital Market and Securities Law. Again, the first part here is having the weightage of 40 marks, and the second part, Securities Law, is having more weightage for 60 marks. Similarly, paper 6, when we talk about, again, it is the weightage of the marks has been flipped. Like it means part 1, economics and commercial laws are having more weightage in comparison to the part 2. Similarly, when we talk about the financial management, the part 1, direct tax, is having the 60 marks weightage, and the part 2 has only indirect, which is indirect tax, has the weightage of 40 marks. Now coming to the professional level. Yes, along with that, ensure that you should be completing your, after passing the executive, you ensure that you get yourself enrolled for the 20 months practical training, or the some of, if you have decided to do it or start it after passing the professional, that's also good, because uh, some duration is reduced after passing the CS professional. It means you don't need to complete, do the training for 21 months, right? Now, but you please ensure that you have to complete the EDP, which is Executive Development Program. All right. So now coming to the professional. There are 7 papers, and rest we have already discussed. So professional also has 2 groups, group 1 and group 2. So group 1 is having 4 papers and group 2 are having 3. First one, see, the basic important when you are preparing, when you are, making your timetable, you need to focus on the weightage so that you can score, you can plan or focus your studies more on areas where, more in areas or in topics or in chapters where you can score more marks, or we can say directly that focus to those areas where, which has the more weightage, right? Similarly, like in paper 1 of professional course, governance and sustainability has a weightage of 64 marks, while risk management and environmental and sustainability reporting has only 15 marks of weightage. Now, similarly, paper 2, drafting and conveyancing, it has a part, which is part 1, which is having the 70 weightage of 70 marks, and part of pleading and appearances is having the weightage of 30 marks. Now coming to the part 3, similarly, the first part, compliance management, is having the 40 marks weightage, and the part 2, audit and due diligence, is having the weightage of 60 marks. If we talk about the paper 4, which is now you have the opportunity to select out of these 4 papers. So which means now the question comes, which paper the students would pursue, or which paper they should select. So Yana, do you have any idea of what is the basic criteria of selecting these papers? Like you have to select only one. Okay, no worries. So see, when it comes to selecting one elective out of many, then you have to go with that paper where your interest lies. And once, or you are pursuing your career into. So on the basis of that, you should be selecting the most appropriate paper, elective paper. Now coming to the group 2. So when we talk about the CS professional group 2, it again has 3 papers, 5, 6 and 7. Similarly, if on the screen you can see the 7 paper 7 is divided into 2 parts. The first part is having 40 marks ka weightage, and part 2 is having 60 marks ka weightage. Now coming to the paper 6, it has it has 3 parts. The first one is corporate restructuring, which is 40 marks, and part 2 valuation is 20 marks, whereas part 3 insolvency, liquidation and wind up is having 40 marks. Now when it comes to the paper 7, you have to select any one out of 5. So again, the criteria for selecting these paper, one of the papers is that you should choose it on the basis of your interest or the area you are about to pursue or you want to become the expert into, right? So this should be the criteria of selecting these papers. Now coming to the next. Now the question, this was about the CS, what CS is, and how these courses, this degree is valued, the different scopes where you can, what you can do, what you can become after becoming a CS, or which area you could join. Now comes like, where does scanners come into the picture? So scanners are basically, they are used to prepare. They are used to excel in the examinations. They are just the helping tools. They are not the study material. So that's why you should always, for the method, for the study purpose, for clearing the concept, you should be sticking to your study material. And while it comes to solving or getting the question and answers, how to answer the questions, what answer has been, what question has been asked, how many times it has been asked, what has been the pattern since last 20 examinations, then here comes the scanner. Once you prepare, and these scanners are well aligned with the study material. This is the like best part. Once you study a topic or refer a topic from your study material provided by the institution, after completing that, you go to the scanner, open up that topic, solve the questions, and you won't believe all the questions which has been asked over 20 attempts of this examination. All questions related to that topic are available in the scanner. So you, for the practice, you don't need to go anywhere. You just have the scanner and start practicing along with your study material. And it is living document because it is updated immediately after every examination, right? And it is environmental friendly because we use recycled papers to save the environment. It is user friendly because it is not very much bulky. It is handy and thin book, and it is pocket friendly as well. That's why we say it's economic also. And this, yes, this is the photocopied version. It means you will get the text uh, printed text or printed matter in cost which is lower than getting the photocopy. So that's why we say that this is environmental friendly, pocket friendly, economic, and user friendly at the same time. Now, so there are n number of charts and diagrams given in the scanner. When you pick up the scanner, when you start flipping the pages, from the title pages, you will start seeing various kinds of the tables and charts. These tables and charts are given to quick, provide you a quick overview about what type of questions has been asked, how many times a particular question has been asked, how many times, like what chapter has been most important, of how many marks a particular chapter has been asked, like from questions from a particular chapter has been asked. So these tables are given to for the analysis purpose, so that you can analyze your 20 the question paper of the 20 attempts, and on the basis of that, you can start focusing on the areas where you need to, from where you can score more marks. And along with that, at the end of the chapter, you will see if any repeated question has been asked. That's also given. And additionally, at the end of the book, you will get 2 mock test papers, which is given for the practice. And along with that, the another benefit, excluding all these, comes when we provide you the extra study or the practice material with companion website. Once you get registered yourself at Scanner Adda, you are allowed to register yourself with the help of there is one scratch code and your ISBN number. And once you register, you get some other extra study material, mock test papers, practice papers, and along with that, you get an monthly e-magazine which is free of cost, where you get to know or understand the recent trends which are going there in the industry. And along with that, you can ask any question. And this is our motto that if you ask any question, or this is our purpose, that if you have any of the student is having any kind of doubt, you can connect to us directly through Scanner Adda, or you can connect to us through any of the social media platforms like Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can connect us anywhere, and we are there to serve you, to help you out. And so this is about the scanners. Now the time is there for the question and answer. If you have any question, please do ask. Or if there's nothing, we can close the session. I think you don't have any question, and this session would have helped you. Even if there is any question later on you feel like asking, the number is there on your screen. Please do connect to us. Please do ask the questions to us. Thank you so much. We are always there to help you, to support you, to be with you. Thank you. Happy learning.